Is that not the famous last words of every Brit? They kind of did the same thing with us, right?
The Avengers. That's what we call ourselves. Earth's mightiest heroes.
I have an army.
We have a Hulk.
If you're new to the channel, make sure that you go subscribe and find our video about our 250 subscriber giveaway. That will get you entered in the awesome giveaway that we're doing for this issue of DC Dark Knights Death Metal #3. Make sure when you find that video that you like, comment, and subscribe to get entered into the giveaway. Let's get into The Union, King in Black, #1. Alright, so week 1 of King in Black, we also got the first tie-in issue and a pretty minor key. So the Union, for Queen and Country, is a superhero team that is brand new. And you have Britannia, Snakes, Kelpie, the Choir, and an old favorite, Union Jack. So in this one, Union Jack is Joe, and you have these 4 new characters that were actually supposed to debut in Empire, but because of COVID, they never got the chance to. So let's dive into this book. It starts off kind of slow, but again, it is the very first book of the Union. One of those ones where they will tie into, obviously, a King in Black. And there's going to be 5 issues of this currently. We'll see what ends up happening. So it starts off just with this joke of Britain's got new heroes. They're all going to be on TV, and this is the TV show. They're playing Capture the Flag, and then at the end there's going to be this wonderful TV interview with Britannia. So for those of you who don't know, because obviously they're brand new, Britannia represents the entirety of the UK. And then the rest of our characters represent different parts of the UK. So Snakes represents Northern Ireland and is in that grey, black, face always covered. Then you have the Choir, who has the black hair with the green streak in it, and she represents Wales. Kelpie over here is the representative of Scotland, so she can control the ocean, the water, and we'll kind of see that. We haven't found out exactly what Britannia's powers are, but based on the way they're talking about her, is she's kind of a super soldier. Someone who was a project, kind of like Captain America. Choir, from the looks of it, it seems as though her superpower is being able to kind of get inside people's minds, and we'll see that in this issue. And Snakes seems just like very talented combatant. We'll get more into him in this issue as well. So it starts off very simple. We have been through so much in recent months. The different countries that make up this United Kingdom, this Great Britain, have been pulled in different directions. We have lost faith in our leaders, in our fellow countrymen and women, and perhaps most seriously in our nation. We need a new vision of ourselves, of what we can be, which is why I'm announcing today the launch of a brand new team of truly British heroes, drawn from all 4 nations under the leadership of our beloved Britannia, the noble warrior hero who has for so long stood as a beacon for all that is best and bright in these historic isles. So again, we get into this game of Capture the Flag. Union Jack hoisting the flag, trying to get it back to where it started, basically a kid's game, and he relates it to the fact that it's how Britain built an empire. And of course they're filming him as he's running through this base castle in just off the coast of the west coast of England. Breen Down Fort. So they kind of tell us who Union Jack is, and we also get to see Kelpie's powers right here, wrapping around this soldier. and they tell us all about Joe Chapman, Union Jack, who is not the first to take the name, but it used to belong to the Fallsworth family. So those of you who have been following Marvel since the 80s, you'll recognize Union Jack. One of his first appearances was in 1981. I believe it was in a Captain America book. But anyways, that's neither here nor there right now. So he's the first working class man to wear it, though no magic powers, nothing beyond his own athletic abilities and belief in himself. In this, he has like this dagger right here, and then obviously he's known as well for his pistol. But then we catch our first glimpse of Britannia. Obviously donning similar red, white, and blue as the United Kingdom. And again, it starts off pretty slow, but again, we get to see the interview coming in and Britannia talking to Darwin, who is the money man behind the Union team. Obviously, Britannia is not too happy. And here's where it gets interesting. So this is where we see the choir's powers. So she says, "You're not that special yourself, friend." And what happens is this guy starts hearing a buzzing in his ear, ringing in his ear to the point where he literally falls over and can't stand up. So that kind of shows us that her powers are kind of telepathic in a way, I guess is the best way to put it. I can't think of the right word right now. And then we also see this man try to help him spill some water as he's still on the floor and Choir is still doing her thing. And all of a sudden Kelpie gets involved and says, "What, you're afraid of a little water?" And Snakes tells him to walk away, little man. So again, we're seeing 4 brand new superheroes here. Union Jack kind of breaks them apart, tells them to dial back. They're all on the same side. Kind of basically, chill out, guys. We don't need bad press. We just became a team. Let's figure this out. Let's kind of break it down. So this is where it starts to get very, very interesting. This is where the King in Black tie-in comes in. So Darwin starts talking to Union Jack, obviously being a big fan, someone who has been around since the 80s, we start to see people kind of go fan crazy over Union Jack. And as he says, "Look, 2,000 Instagram views and I haven't even posted it yet." The public just love the whole Britannia project. So that's kind of where it makes it seem like this is a Captain America style project. And Darwin continues to kind of eat up the spotlight until the spotlight literally is blocked out by a winged creature with a tail. So again, this is a King in Black tie-in, so we all know what that is. And let's find out what happens. So of course, we have a symbiote dragon coming in, no one really knowing what it is. What in the blazes is that? I'm no expert, but it looks like a dragon to me. Not exactly the best writing, I will say, but I mean, it's one of those things for a brand new superhero team. Who wrote this? Grist, pretty great writer in of itself, but just very interesting the way that this all kind of plays out. And it's kind of meant to be very choppy because they're a new team. They're trying to find their chemistry, so it makes sense that the writing isn't perfect. It makes sense that it's very lackadaisical and lackluster, for lack of a better term. Honestly, it's a very interesting story that not only did all of these dragons come to New York City where Eddie Brock was, and Knull is there, and now we have this one symbiote dragon seemingly right before the Earth has been engulfed by symbiote fluid with Knull in New York City. And we see this amazing feat of heroism. And literally, once again, do you think it would be a good time to get an interview? Come on. Get out of my face, you idiot. And Britannia saves the day, chopping the head off. But wait, what is this? The tail speared Britannia right through the chest. Pretty much right below the heart, it seems like. Maybe right in the heart. And the craziest part about this is obviously the first issue of the Union. We see Britannia come crashing down along with the dragon. They both kind of splash down just probably 20 feet away from each other or so. And Joe running toward her. Pretty much everything reaches climax toward the end of this issue. It's very interesting how they played this out. Not something that I was really expecting when I read through it the first time. Again, it's a very cool book because it's a very immature book. It's one of those ones that is going to grow and that we're going to grow with. But truly a really cool storyline to tie into King in Black. I love the way that they introduced it this way. Next up, we see the head of the symbiote dragon. This dude, clearly not knowing what he's doing, decides to kick it. Ugly looking bugger, isn't it? At least we don't have to worry about that anymore. Is that not the famous last words of every Brit? They kind of did the same thing with us, right? Us Yankees, that is. It's okay, Britannia. Hang on. You're going to be okay. Nice try, Joe. So clearly, we're seeing the end of Britannia in issue 1. And what is this? Shocking. Symbiote fluid. But you could never fool me. Nobody's going to fix this. Not this. So again, we really don't know Britannia's powers at this point. We're not quite sure what is so special about her that she's the leader of this Union team and just brought together all 4 corners of the United Kingdom. And as she's dying, the symbiotes are taking over all of these soldiers that are around them. So we jump ahead and we see her in her dying breath. Don't worry, Joey boy, I had a good run this time. What does she mean by this time? This is very interesting. Does that mean that she's lived past lives and can be reborn? What does that mean? They're being very vague with this character in this issue, and I love it. It allows us to get to know this character. And here's that famous symbiote speech bubble. Black with white writing, with a white outline that is not uniform. Very, very interesting. Hey Union Jack. I'm sorry, kid, I haven't really got time for games right now. Oh, I don't think we're playing games anymore, Joey boy. So these soldiers taken over by some Knull symbiotes and Union Jack ready for a fight. That's alright. What's he gonna say next? What's he gonna say next? Let's find out. Together, neither are we. And this is the first time we see the 4 of them, obviously, because Britannia is lying there dead on the ground, ready to go to battle, and it cuts to the title page. So, the Britannia Project, Part 1, The Flag Game. So, Paul Greist was the writer of this, and I absolutely love the way it was written. It was very interesting, very well done to the point where it's a brand new team, and it feels like a brand new team. It feels like the chemistry just isn't there. It feels like they're pushing to be a team, and they're just struggling to be one. And it's going to be a really bumpy yet really fun ride for this team. And we jump ahead to issue 2, and this is where it gets interesting. Britannia standing with her team, Union Jack not there, or Union Jack is there. And it's almost like a reverse of what we just saw 2 pages ago. So again, this is going to be a very interesting thing. What is the Britannia project? How is this going to play into the King in Black? How is the Union going to represent in the King in Black? How will this all tie in? Besides the fact that obviously there's some symbiote soldiers right here. How is that going to all work out? This will be very interesting, and we will find out January 13th, 2021, when the Union 2 is on sale. So I'll leave you with this. From all of us here at the Comics Lounge, keep it casual, my friends.